Have you ever felt a sudden, unexplained fog in your mind? A moment of irritability or a dip in your focus that you just can't quite explain? You might think it's just stress or perhaps a lack of sleep, but the truth is much quieter and much older. Inside your bones, your blood, and your brain, there is a ghost. It's a heavy, silent residue that wasn't there a century ago. It's called lead. And almost every person currently living on Earth, including you, carries the legacy of one man's ambition. You've never met him, but he changed the very chemistry of your body. His name was Thomas Midgley Jr. He didn't just invent a product, he accidentally engineered a global catastrophe that we are still breathing today. In the 1920s, the world was rushing into the future. Cars were becoming a necessity, but they had a violent problem known as engine knock. It was a rattle that tore engines apart from the inside. The solution seemed like a miracle, but the cost was something the world wasn't prepared to pay. Midgley discovered that adding tetraethyl lead to gasoline made engines run perfectly smooth, but science had known for centuries that lead is a neurotoxin. It doesn't just sit in your body, it mimics calcium, tricking your brain into letting it in. Once inside, it begins to dismantle your synapses, piece by piece. To sell it, they couldn't call it lead, they called it ethyl. It sounded clean, modern, and safe, but while the marketing was polished, the reality was chaotic. In the factories, workers began to go insane. They were hallucinating, jumping from windows, and losing their grip on reality. Midgley, desperate to protect his invention, stood before the press and washed his hands in the chemical, claiming it was as safe as a summer breeze. He was lying, and he knew it. For decades, the world inhaled Midgley's invention. It settled in the soil of our playgrounds and the dust of our homes. The scale of this damage is staggering. Recent studies suggest that this global exposure caused a measurable drop in human IQ across the board. Think about that for a second. Millions of genius-level ideas stolen from our species before they even had a chance to be thought. But Midgley wasn't finished. He turned his attention to refrigeration and invented Freon, the world's first CFC. It was another miracle that seemed perfect until we realized it was eating a hole in the ozone layer, stripping away the very shield that protects us from the sun's radiation. One man, through two separate inventions, had managed to poison the Earth's blood and then rip away its skin. The irony of Midgley's life is almost too perfect to be real. It reads like a dark fable. After a lifetime of improving the world, his own body betrayed him. He contracted polio and became paralyzed. True to his nature, he built a complex system of ropes and pulleys to lift himself out of bed every morning. He trusted his mind. He trusted his machines. But one morning in 1944, the machine he created to save him became his end. He became entangled in the cords, and the inventor was strangled by his own invention. Thomas Midgley Jr. is gone, but his ghost is still here. Lead is no longer in our gasoline, but it remains in our environment and our DNA. It is a silent passenger in the minds of billions. So, the next time you feel that unexplained fog, or you wonder why the world feels just a little bit slower, remember, you aren't just living in history. History is living inside you. We like to think we are the masters of our environment, but sometimes the things we build to make life better are the very things that end up suffocating us. Tell me, do you feel the fog, or are you one of the few who can still see through the haze?